again and then come back and see me and let me know what you think. But yeah, the Clippers, have a really good team. They're actually a contender for once this year for the first time that I can remember. And they're playing some good basketball now as a team. Losing Chauncey Billups is definitely a big loss for him because he was provided that veteran leadership and outside shooting and also perimeter defense as well. So that's going to be a key loss for him, and it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back, who can fill that void.
Barry,
I should say.
I'll tell you now. I actually have seen a lot of his clips, not just from SportsCenter either. I've seen him. I could honestly say there are other players at his position that are better than him. That's not to say he's not above average, as a lot of people would say, which I agree to some extent. But this is without bias, but in general speaking, I really can't see anything about what he does, because there are other people that do it just the same or better than he does. So and there are others that obviously do probably worse than he does.
But there's not many people in the NBA, Ricky, that have the same type of athleticism and the same type of hops as Blake Griffin. There's very few
but if you're tall, there really aren't any hops to it, and therefore there is no athleticism to it, especially if you can just stand up and touch the rim without even.
But I mean, this guy flies, Ricky. He doesn't stand up.
No, but there are people that can.
He acts like he has wings on the basketball court, for crying out loud. He should be. I'm surprised Red Bull doesn't have him as one of their sponsoring athletes, because he acts as if, he has wings on the court and
I'll tell you what, Barry, as much as I see where you're coming from that aspect, Red Bull's not exactly good for you, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, that wasn't my point, Ricky.
Nonetheless, it's
wasn't
time
trying to talk about
discuss about how the radio show will be facing up for not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday. We will definitely be focusing on 2 weeks from now. We'll obviously be talking about the National Lacrosse League All-Star Game. As mentioned, both myself and Barry are going to be there, and this will be a good portion of a segment to talk about. Also, we're going to be continuing to finish up with the 2012 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and that was held in Red Deer, Alberta, and they're still going on throughout the remainder of this week, and the championship will be on Sunday, so that I will certainly be tuned into. Also, just to keep in mind, we're going to keep, we're going to tell you guys exactly how we try to run the show. And usually we'll start, and the opening 30 minutes we'll try to, if we can, figure out how to get like a game show kind of competitive banter likes around the horn, or pardon the interruption, something like that. And we'll try to fit that into the first half an hour. Second, the next few half-hour segments, what we try to do is based on what season had started the earliest in terms of active and non-active. For instance, right now, the NHL started before the NBA usually does anyway. But that also helps us by expertise. I'm more knowledgeable in the National Lacrosse League and National Hockey League. Barry's with NBA and NFL, or basketball and football for that matter, and both of us have a good knowledge on about the same amount of knowledge on baseball. But, for instance, now that we have whatever we would be doing, and we will be starting up with baseball with spring training around the corner, that won't be our major concern, but we will definitely talk about it. However, I do want to mention, for instance, we will start with the second half hour being NHL, the third half hour will be NBA, the fourth half hour will be National Lacrosse League, and depending on what's going on, will be either, in this case, be baseball or curling, because we do have one other curling tournament up, and that'll only last for 2 weeks, and that is the 2012 Tim Hortons Brier. And that I will definitely be keeping up to date on. We did mention that we did have 4 teams that have won their respective tankards when last we met last Saturday, and as I mentioned, we'll keep you posted on that. Well, Barry, this is it. Time to say goodbye, and any last words before we go?
Uh, it's been a great show, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And tune in as we're gonna do another one next week. And see ya. Good night.
Well, we got wonderful things coming up. We're glad to be on the air finally and glad to have you all aboard. I am Ricky Mazzella for my co-host Barry Abois on SC TV3. This has been Sports Talk with RMB. Good night.
Oh boy.
That was something.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I kind of feel like I did horrible though.
You did
and not as
fine. You
well
did
as I
fine.
should.
You did fine.
Maybe it's because I'm a tough critic on myself.
Hey, you guys did a good job.
Well, usually the toughest critic is yourself.
Yes.
That is true.
You guys had good chemistry. Sure, there were things that it was a little long. I think some video would break it up if you had video.
Right. Well, no, because I was thinking, well, you wanted to say, hey, what you wanted to talk and all, but we'll have stuff for that. But
That's
we wanted to test, to have this test just
Yeah.
to make sure.
And
Hey,
you know-
is this how we want to do it?
Yeah, and you know what CJ recommended is if you really wanted to time yourself, pardon the interruption, actually have a timer.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
wanted
know
to
if we
do
had.
something
I didn't know
like
if we
that.
had that
Well,
capability.
you could have somebody in here time it and then have a little air horn that goes beep.
That's,
you know what I
was
mean?
gonna
Like
say,
a gimmicky
I
kind
didn't
of
know
thing.
if we had that kind of capability.
Exactly.
I
We
mean,
didn't-
I
Use their cell
we didn't
phone
know
and a
we
little
we
horn.
could have that
Right.
option.
Yeah.
I was basing it off of I kind of took a quick peek at the if I noticed something
Yeah.
That's what notified me and
Yeah. No, you could do lots of fun things.
certainly, but that was,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was great.
Yeah, I thought that worked. Yep.
I actually enjoyed it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
that
had
was
some
fun.
nice chemistry, no doubt about it.
burn one for Barry.
All right, the only thing I can only burn one, and
You
then,
can only burn one. I'll burn another
okay,
myself.
so I gotta go, hold on.
I know Ricky's good at doing that stuff, as I know.
I can,
That was great.
functions, hold on. Oops, I gotta stop it.
I'm glad we did our fun. We did finally did our
Is
first
there